Alright everyone, we're going to keep working with SQL queries, but I want you to begin taking notes about the functions we're going to be going over soon. We've learned how to get data from a database, we've learned how to filter the data we get, and all that stuff is great, but there are several functions that you can use in a SQL query that can give you the data back in a very specific manner. So we're going to actually start learning these functions, but I want you to begin taking notes on this because what you're going to be building up on this is quite a long list of functions that you're going to need to know by heart. So these are going to be important tools in your toolbox, as it were. So what I want you to do is make a Word document, and we're going to create a table with 3 columns in it as long as you want. Trust me, we're going to fill this thing out. So if you want, you can store these notes in Access too, but I think notes are more appropriate for a Word document. So you can call it the function, and these are just the headers for it. So where it goes and what it does. And we're going to go over these one at a time to build up your scratch pad so that you can learn these functions and get them down by heart, because you're going to be asked these on quizzes and such, and expect to know what these are. So, but I'm going to give them to you one at a time because I don't want someone to just take a shot of my completed notes. I want you guys to be completing the notes, so I'm going to give them to you one at a time. And the first one we're going to be going over is called distinct. And you can see a demonstration of this on page 40. So distinct goes in our select clause. And we call it a clause because that's the section of the query where it belongs. So distinct goes in the select clause, and its purpose is to remove duplicate information. And I'll demonstrate what that means. In the SQData database, which we've already been working with, we've already seen that there are 3 departments, 4 buyers. If I wanted to know my entire list of departments and buyers, I can get that list. Select department and buyer from SQData, where department equals climbing. I run it, I get the data, that's what I asked it for. But there are several duplicates in here. Like Water Sports and Pete Hansen is listed twice, Water Sports and Nancy Myers are listed twice, everybody and everything is listed twice. Well, if I was trying to work off of, if I just wanted my list of buyers, I don't want to see a list with everybody's name on it listed however many times, because then you have to keep notes on the side like, oh, I've already seen Pete Hansen, I've already seen Cindy Lowe, and all that mess. Well, you can use distinct to tell Access, I don't want to see the same thing more than once. So SQL view, and right before the list of fields you say distinct and a space. So select distinct department comma buyer from SQData, and you only have to say distinct once. There's no parentheses after it or anything. It's just select distinct space and then your list of fields. And what this function does is it will remove all the duplicates. So camping and Cindy Lowe is listed only once. Climbing and Jerry Martin's are listed only once. Now you may notice that Water Sports is still listed twice, but each buyer is only listed once. And this is similar to what we were talking about several lessons ago with the composite primary key, and that the combination has to be unique. So department and Water Sports is listed twice, but Water Sports and Nancy Myers are never listed twice. Likewise, Water Sports and Pete Hansen are never listed twice. Now, let's modify this and just select only the department. Now, I want you to go and think in your head what you might expect this query to give you, and to think whether or not this will only give us 4 records or 3. So let's run it, and bam, only 3 departments. Because now we don't have the buyer, every department has to be unique, and water sports is only listed once. So that's how distinct works. Distinct goes in the select clause, and if you want to be more specific, before the list of fields, and it removes duplicates. Stay tuned and we'll keep going.